This is a forgotten Grimm fairy tale the world chose to leave behind. Not because it lacked meaning, but because it was never meant to comfort. What follows is the story as it was once recorded, before time and taste decided it should no longer be told. Once there was a soldier who had served the king faithfully for many years. He had fought in distant lands, bled for his country, and endured hunger, cold, and fear without complaint. But when the war ended, the king dismissed him without thanks, without pay, and without pity. The soldier was old, his strength worn thin by time and battle. He had no money, no home, and no family waiting for him. With his musket over his shoulder and a heavy heart in his chest, he set out along the road, unsure where to go. As he walked, he met a woman who looked bent and frail, leaning on a stick. She asked him where he was going, and he answered honestly that he did not know. He had nowhere to sleep, nothing to eat, and no purpose left. The woman said she knew a way for him to earn money easily. All he needed to do was help her with a small task. Desperate and weary, the soldier agreed. She led him into a dark forest, to a lonely well hidden among roots and stones. The woman told him there was something at the bottom of the well that belonged to her. If he would climb down and fetch it, she would reward him generously. The soldier looked into the well and saw only darkness. Still, he tied a rope around his waist and lowered himself down. The stones were damp, and the air grew cold as he descended. At the bottom, he found a blue light burning steadily on the ground. It shone without smoke or heat, casting an eerie glow. He picked it up, unsure what it was, and called for the woman to pull him back up. Instead, she demanded the light. When he refused to hand it over without being helped first, the woman laughed. She cut the rope and left him trapped in the well, revealing herself as a witch. The soldier sat in darkness, knowing he would die there. In despair, he struck his pipe against the blue flame to light it. At once, a small black man appeared before him, no taller than a child, with sharp eyes and a crooked grin. The little man said he was a servant of the blue light. Whoever possessed it could command him, and he would obey without question. The soldier ordered him to lift him out of the well. In an instant, the little man carried him to the surface. The soldier then commanded him to punish the witch. By morning, she was found dead. Her wickedness finally ended. With the blue light and the servant bound to him, the soldier returned to the nearest town. He lodged at an inn and ate well for the first time in months. But bitterness filled him, for he remembered how the king had cast him aside. That night, he ordered the little man to bring him the king's daughter. While she slept, the servant carried her through the air to the soldier's room. Before dawn, she was returned to her bed, unaware of how she had been moved. The next morning, the princess was troubled. She felt bruised and weary, as though she had walked far in her sleep. When the same thing happened again the next night, the king grew alarmed. Guards were posted outside her chamber, and traps were set, but none could stop the little man. Each night, the princess vanished and returned before morning, more shaken than before. At last, the princess hid her shoes beneath her bed and marked one with chalk. When she awoke after another night's disappearance, she saw one shoe was dusty and worn. The king followed the marks until they led to the soldier's inn. He was arrested and accused of witchcraft. The blue light was taken from him, and he was sentenced to hang. On the way to the gallows, the soldier asked one final favor. He begged to smoke his pipe once more. The king agreed. The soldier lit his pipe with the blue light hidden inside. Instantly, the little black man appeared. The soldier commanded him to rescue him and punish the king. The servant tore the gallows apart and struck down the guards. The king was forced to surrender his crown and kingdom. The soldier demanded the princess as his wife and was made king in the old ruler's place. And so, the discarded soldier rose to power, not through mercy or honor, but through a flame stolen from darkness, ruling thereafter with the blue light always close at hand.